Before we start the video, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to EA and Respawn for giving me early access to play Apex Legends Season 25 with a bunch of great creators. Thanks EA and Respawn. Now today I want to cover some of the things that I actually got to see for myself with these early gameplay tests. And before anybody asks, no, as of this recording, I don't know what the patch notes are. We were told that we wouldn't get to find anything out until Monday, and currently I'm recording this at 6 p.m. on a Sunday, so I don't have those notes in front of me. But what I do have is actual in-game experience to some of these changes and some of the things you could actually feel. But before we get into that, let's talk about the star of the show, which is Sparrow. Now Sparrow is the newest legend that's getting ready to drop into the game on Tuesday, on National Apex Day as I like to call it. And honestly, Sparrow's gonna shake up the meta a lot. He adds a different flair to the game. He's another recon legend, and we haven't had one of them in a cool little minute. But he has like a different swing to movement compared to like the Valkyries or the Vantage. He's gonna be a movement type of god character, and he's got some strat plays that you can make with him. I'm gonna have to save that for a later video when he officially goes live. I'm gonna give you guys everything that you need to know, an in-depth how-to guide on how to play Sparrow. So stay tuned for that. But what I can tell you is his tactical ability, which is his tracker dart, that has a good amount of range on it. And something that's interesting about it is it remains up on the wall or wherever you place it until it's destroyed actually. So it'll stay up there, and as long as somebody just keeps running back and forth in between the range of it, it'll let you know where they are. Another one of his abilities, which is actually his passive, is really dope as well because it gives him the movement that he needs, which is his double jump and his wall climb. And yes, before anybody gets in here and asks me, yes, he can wall climb, jump off the wall, which does not count as a double jump, and then initiate the double jump to get even more height or distance. So a lot of movement with him. Also, when he uses a double jump, it's not just vertical or forward. He can actually go left, right, backwards, diagonal, whichever direction you're aiming in that specific time when you're doing the double jump. Then we get into the ultimate. Now the ultimate I thought at first was going to be able to do a lot more damage than what it does, but it's really not meant to do damage. In fact, it's actually more of like a crowd control type of ability, something that'll slow the enemies down. And the best way to describe it is think of it like an Ash snare. It's there, it'll do a little bit of damage, but its really main goal is to slow people down, make them easier to hit, make it easier targets, choke point, all that good jazz. And then obviously, you know, he gets all the other perks that comes with being a recon legend. Like for example, he gets the survey beacon, right? That's all universally known for anybody that plays Apex Legends. But what's nice about him is if you shoot your tactical dart, and honestly, that's a little trickier than what you would think it is, but if you can aim that just right and hit your dart on the recon beacon, it'll do the scanning for you, and it'll do and activate just like how any other ordinary recon beacon would be, except you don't have to be on it and take yourself out the fight. Honestly, Sparrow's got a lot of plays that he can make, especially once you guys upgrade him, and you can see on the screen right there that I got, you can choose between some amazing things. And honestly, once you get to level 3, that life siphon one, crazy work. Covering some of the other things that they made changes to, which were Pathfinder is getting a buff. Now, again, because I don't have the patch notes, I can't exactly tell you the exact numbers that they tweaked on him, but I will say if you upgrade him in the level 2 stage and you pick the one where it's a 10-second cooldown reduction to your tactical, you're looking at maybe a 14 second delay before you can use your actual grapple again. But in the trailer, they showed it like he got some shots off after grappling and then grappled again immediately. So that's why I said patch notes, I'm gonna need to read that, but Pathy felt pretty good. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I felt smooth playing with him. Something else that was changed in season 25 is actually the bow check and the fact that now you can equip a grenade to it. Now I wanna say this real fast before we get into it. Initially seeing it and thinking about it, I thought this was gonna be crazy OP. It's not too crazy, y'all. It is good. I don't see everybody going out of their way to equip the bow check and then pick up the grenade and charge it up and do that, especially since now the bow arrows aren't just something that you can pick up after opening a bin. You kind of got to be sparing with your arrows. You can take them off of people's death box. That's an update to it, which is nice. But if you're just randomly spraying them out there into the open and they're gone, then you know what I mean? You can't just retrieve them. You have to actually physically walk over them and grab them again. But getting into the damage of it, the original bow check without the attachment of the grenade on it is going to do about 88 damage of a full charge to the headshot. but once you put the grenade on it, it does about 64 or 65 damage to the head, and then a 25 explosion. It can be good, especially if you're aiming it at people's feet and maybe it's a cluster of people, then it'll do something like that. But again, that's only 20 to 25 damage if you're not actually making contact with a person. Again, not a bad weapon, but I don't know if that's gonna throw it into the meta, personally. Another change that we can expect in season 25, at least for a limited time, is arenas. Now, I know this is like a fan requested thing to bring arenas back, and they did, but sadly only for a limited time. Now, hopefully it can become a permanent game mode again, because it seems like the majority of people really enjoyed it and they missed it. And I had a lot of fun with it, actually. And instead of just giving you guys the regular arenas, which it still kind of is, they made some tweaks and changes to it. Like, for example, there are discounts in the store for certain weapons at certain times. So you can get a weapon at a discounted price, maybe like 200 points off or something like that. That's a nice little change, especially if you're having like a bad time and maybe you need like an econ round where it's like, I don't have much money, but I still need this weapon. This will help change the game. You just gotta hope that that's on sale. Another thing that was changed in there is that, say for example, you wanted the Mastiff for the first round. You can have the Mastiff, but just keep in mind, after that first round, the Mastiff is no longer available to you in the next round. It doesn't matter if you win that round, it doesn't matter if you lose it, whatever the case may be. Once that round is over, you no longer have the ability to buy that weapon again. Now, is that just for that round and then the next following one you can buy it again? I believe so, but it at least is limited to one round, off a round, and then maybe again on a round. You know what I'm saying? I didn't closely pay attention to that. I definitely noticed that I couldn't have 301 back to back though. And then obviously there are rank changes, but we didn't get that opportunity to get in there and play any rank today. What we were allowed to do was to get into the firing range, play the arenas game mode, and then get right into regular quick play BR. So we got to experience a lot of that stuff, but I can't tell you guys anything about ranked, sadly. But if you actually tap into the stream, and as the time you're watching this, I'm probably already live on Monday, I am streaming one more day of early access season 25 of Apex Legends. Again, big shout out and thanks to Respawn and EA for that. I'll have the patch notes and I can answer a lot more questions for you guys. So don't forget to turn that notification bell on, sub to the channel so that you guys don't miss any more exciting news from your boy covering all things Apex Legends. And with that, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and hair grease.